Let's introduce our face-off this evening. Both our guests will be given a 2-minute timer to make their claims, and then the fader will go down and the argument will shift to the counterpart. Joining me this evening is Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Adil Singh Boperoy, National Spokesperson, Congress. I want to begin with Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, it's interesting because we're coming off a democratic newsroom where we debated exactly the same topic, so I'll ask you the same question. What's so wrong if the opposition poses questions? It's the job of the opposition. They are supposed to do that. When the operation was on, they were standing shoulder to shoulder with you. Why not ask for accountability? You did the same in 26/11.
Preeti, first things first, let me say that Operation Sindoor has been a phenomenal success. But what do you see? Right from Rahul Gandhi to Jairam Ramesh to Pawan Khera to a Supriya Srinath, undermining the credibility of the armed forces has become a routine affair for these Congress darbaris. And let me tell you, Siddaramaiah, sitting Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.K. Hari Prasad, sitting MLC of Karnataka, Tariq Hamid Kaya, the Jammu and Kashmir Congress President, Vijay Wadettiwar, sitting Congress MLA in Maharashtra, Mani Shankar Iyer, former Union Minister and a Congressee at that, and Robert Vadra, Jijashri of the Congress Party. What is common to all these people, Preeti? They have not just questioned the credibility of the armed forces, they have been quick to give a clean chit to Pakistan. They have said, we don't think that the terrorists actually slaughtered Hindus on the basis of their religion. And let me be very clear, asking questions is fine. But it was in 1980 that Indira Gandhi brought in the National Security Act, which was made more stringent in 1984. And there are 18 provisions in the National Security Act, which clearly say that during extraordinary times and in warlike situations, it is the political establishment, the government of the day, which will decide kitni information opposition ko deni hai, kab deni hai, kisko deni hai. So asking for accountability is fine. But at the same time, the Congress should realize that in these circumstances, what they're asking for is a privilege, not a right. The Modi government has the prerogative to decide kab batayenge, kitna batayenge, kisko batayenge. And let me say one thing. The Congress never stood in solidarity with the Modi government. Indira Gandhi बन पाना आसान नहीं है. अरे जिस इंदिरा गांधी की दुहाई देते हो, she could not secure 54 Indian prisoners of war from Pakistani prison. They were left to languish and rot in Pakistan. So don't give me bhashan about how great Indira Gandhi was.
All right, your time is up and bell time, Sanju Verma. I want to shift right now to the Congress spokesperson, Adil Singh Boperoy, to bring you in on this. The larger question, Adil, is why so much skepticism on what is government intent or the Operation Sindoor? Because certain questions seemingly out of line, where even the Congress party president called the Operation Sindoor as should put a small kind of conflict.
Preeti, there is one question which is troubling 1.4 billion Indians. And no amount of whataboutery can hide that, which is that it has been 30 days, it has been 1 month. The terrorists who carried out this murderous attack are still at large. Evidently, there has been a monumental security and an intelligence failure. But having said this, I think it is incumbent on the government of the day to let the country know that why are these 4 terrorists still at large? What is so wrong about it? The bereaved families, the victims, the country is yearning for this. The terrorists who carried out 26/11 were neutralized. The terrorists of Pahalgam are still at large. I see no politics here, Preeti. I see a yearning for justice. Number one. Number two, how is it that President Trump announces the ceasefire between 2 sovereign nations? That means President Trump was in the loop, but the opposition of this country was not in the loop. President Trump announces even before the government of India makes a statement. And he says that there have been deals. What is that deal? And it is not once or twice, Preeti. There have been 8 such statements by the President of the United States that there has been a deal. What is that deal? The country seeks to know. And I see nothing objectionable. Number 3, Mr. Jaishankar, the foreign minister of this country, is on record to say that we warned Pakistan before the attack. Now, I find this baffling. You have a country which is running a terror infrastructure. You inform them in advance before you carry out an attack. Are you cautioning them? Are you forewarning them? Are you allowing them
Your
to
time's
flee?
up, Adil. I want to cut across back to Sanju Verma because, Sanju Verma, one can keep talking about, the rhetoric of Operation Sindoor. We are all proud of our armed forces. It's a success. We've isolated Pakistan. But if pertinent questions are asked, and questions have been asked by the opposition, why not actually give answers to those? You sought the same questions and answers at the time of 26/11. There are certain questions that have been posed where accountability is concerned. The sheer fact that we are 1 month away from the Pahalgam terror strike and all the 4 terrorists are still at large. We still don't know, the whereabouts of these 4 terrorists. How did this, what was the intelligence failure? These are pertinent questions, Sanju Verma, even, when it comes down to the statement of the Minister of External Affairs. Yes, we gave multiple clarifications, but at this point of time, and you yourself say that things are so sensitive, communication needs to be watertight, no room for interpretation.
Okay. Preeti, there is a famous Hindi kahavat, काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर, नाच ना जाने आंगन टेढ़ा. कांग्रेस के लिए सभी कुछ काला अक्षर है, भैंस बराबर है. And I'll tell you what, Shahid Kutte, the head of the resistance front, which is an offshoot of Lashkar Taiba, a few days back, he was neutralized via Operation Sindoor at Shopian. Adnan Shafi Dar, Adil Hussain Thokar, Talha Bai, Hussain Musa, Asif Sheikh. These were all masterminds of the Pahalgam terror attack and were neutralized via Operation Sindoor. Rahul Gandhi ke muh mein tab dahi jam gaya. These people keep saying, oh, we really appreciate our armed forces. Have I forgotten? Have you forgotten? Has your audience forgotten? Sandeep Dixit, a Congress leader and the son of former CM of Delhi, Sheila Dixit, said about Bipin Rawat, ye to sadak ka gunda hai. Kanhaiya Kumar was given a ticket to fight Lok Sabha 2024 elections from Northeast Delhi. He was trounced by Manoj Tiwari. That's a separate thing altogether. But he's called Indian Army a bunch of balatkari, rapists. Has he been expelled by the Congress party? No. I repeat, during the surgical strike of 2016, we crossed the LOC. During the Balakot strike of 2019, we did even better. We crossed the international border. But lo behold, during Operation Sindoor of 2025, हमने सिर्फ घर के अंदर घुसकर नहीं मारा, पाकिस्तान के सीने पर वार किया है. Right from Rawalpindi to Karachi to Jacobabad to Sialkot to Rahim Khan base to Noor Khan air base, we paralyzed their air defense systems. But Rahul Gandhi हमसे सबूत मांग रहे हैं. We completely dismantled the combat readiness of Pakistan. But Rahul Gandhi BJP से सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. We completely exposed the military vulnerability of Pakistan. But Rahul Gandhi Pakistan की तरफदारी कर रहे हैं. These guys are a bunch of anti-national.
Ma'am, your time is up.
These guys, I mean Rahul Gandhi and the cabal.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll come back to you. I want to bring in Adil back into this conversation. Adil, there's usually a red line that questions should be asked. That's your job. You're the primary opposition, and that's exactly what your job is. But when they say there's that proverbial red line, ask questions of accountability, ask questions of the Minister of External Affairs on his statement. But when you get into questions of how many planes were down, what did we target, those questions have been asked, Adil.
Easy, I think the time has reached in our polity that we need to move away from petty one-liners, rhetorics, and using foul language for the opposition party and take the issues head-on. We still don't have an answer. Where are those 4 actual terrorists who pulled the trigger? They are still at large. This is a very legitimate question. She can abuse us as much as she wants to. But today, the victims, the bereaved families seek closure. They want to know, where are those 4 terrorists? When will they be neutralized? Point number 1. Point number 2, this is on the larger issue. I think it is a misnomer to believe that the world rallied with India. During these skirmishes, you had the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, approving a 1.4 billion loan to Pakistan. And this is during the skirmishes. That very day, this is happening. You have the President of the United States saying that Pakistan is a dear friend. No country came out in full support and threw their weight around. This is despite the Prime Minister traversing the entire globe and indulging in foreign junkets. The issue today is that the BJP is evading accountability and answers. A just government, a responsive government would call for a special session of parliament. They would answer all issues which are pertinent. They will not run away from issues. Please understand, national crisis cannot be reduced to a PR stunt. And I say this with humility. National crisis, do not reduce it to a PR stunt.
Okay. I'll come back to you, Adil. Mr. Bopara, I'll come back to you. I want to bring in Sanju Verma back into this conversation. Sanju Verma, there are pertinent questions that the opposition is asking, and there are no answers to that. Number one, Sanju Verma, why is it that, these are exceptional times? If a special session of the parliament is being asked for, not just by the Congress, but across the opposition, once again, that is seemingly being denied. It's not that the opposition is trying to spin a yarn which plays into Pakistan propaganda. We have delegations which include the Congress, delegations that have been put together by the Ministry of External Affairs, building a global offensive, talking about Pakistan's role in India. So the opposition is with you there. But when certain questions are asked domestically for national importance, why are they not being addressed?
Preeti, let me be very clear. Shashi Tharoor, a career congressman, an MP, somebody who was an Under-Secretary General at the United Nations, he was MOS External Affairs, has applauded the Modi government. Chidambaram, who was the former Home Minister and the former Finance Minister, has applauded the Modi government. Congress is embarrassed. And these people keep saying accountability. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government is accountable to the people of India. By rejecting Congress in 3 Lok Sabha elections in a row, the people of India have told the Congress, aapke liye exit door khula hai, better go out. Now let me say one thing to you, Preeti. Between 1948 and 1964, before Nehru's demise, in those 16 odd years, there were 23 UN resolutions against India pertaining to Kashmir. After the 1965 war, the Tashkent summit was called by the Soviet Union to sort out issues between India and Pakistan. So the India-Pakistan issue then was globalized. Let me tell you, be it 1948, 1951, 1961, 1962, 1965, 1971, each time the Congress went with a begging bowl to the United Nations to intervene. In fact, after the 1971 war, the United Nations refused to accept Bangladesh as a country, and Indira Gandhi had to go begging to Soviet Union, please use your veto power. Today, none of the Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC countries, have stood in solidarity with Pakistan. Today, Kashmir is a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan, no matter what anyone says. And let me tell you what John Spencer, one of the world's biggest security experts, said. He said, in less than 23 hours, a nuclear power like Pakistan was brought to its knees by Prime Minister Modi, which is a massive achievement.
All right, I want to bring in the Congress spokesperson into this. Adil Singh Bopara, the question is that somewhere down the line, the Congress blurred the lines between national interest and party interest. And that's why the questions that were asked, some of them reasonable, pertinent, justified, the others frivolous and playing into Pakistan agenda, especially the questions of how many planes were downed, what did we attack? Those weren't necessary. Why is it so difficult for the Congress to accept it?
Preeti, those statements were made in a certain context. And that context was when the sitting External Affairs Minister goes on record to say that we warned Pakistan before the attack. So that's in a certain context. Now it appears that the BJP has become delusional for a variety of reasons. Number one, what action has been taken against the MP minister who demeaned Colonel Sophia Qureshi. Has that minister been sacked? Has the BJP even issued him a show cause notice? None whatsoever. They continue to come on television and mouth lies and homilies, but they're not willing to take any action against their own errant leaders. We are not politicizing this. We are merely saying that there are 4 terrorists at large. What is the status? The bereaved families and the country seeks a closure. What is so inappropriate about this? You want to pat your back all the time. You want to use national crisis for domestic political gain. You go on camera and you say all sorts of things. But when it comes to accountability, you want to blame Pandit Nehru. We are in May 2025. All the bouquets come to the BJP, but the brickbats go to Pandit Nehru. This is absurd. And it is absurd for any Indian to say or to undermine the contribution of Mrs. Indira Gandhi to this nation. She's a shaheed. She gave up her life for the integrity of this country. She carved Pakistan into 2. For a spokesperson, for an official spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party to say that is anti-national. To insult a shaheed like Mrs. Gandhi is anti-national. That is what anti-national is. So let's...
Your time is up, and ultimately that's where I run out of time in this debate. I appreciate both of you for taking the time out and joining us. I'm sure this is a debate that will continue in days to come. We leave it for our viewers to decide on where they stand on it.